do you guys reckon is going on here? Is this like some kind of a chicken wedding or something? You have your groomsmen, obviously. You have the maids of honor. This is funny, and I don't understand why they would all be piled up right there in that one flower bed. And why are they all just staring at me? Proceed with the ceremony, you guys. Just act like I'm not even here. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that I come home to. That's the kind of stuff that I come home to. And you guys stare at me like I'm the weirdo. You're staring at me like I'm the weirdo. Seriously. So who are you all waiting for? Oh, let me guess. Yes, of course, you're waiting for the priest. You're waiting for Priest Pablo. They're waiting for you, Priest Pablo. They're right over here. The ceremony's about to begin. So I know you can probably barely hear me because of the wind. Sorry about that. But we are leaving Santana in. You know what happened with her last couple of babies where she had them off in the deep woods. And we had to go have Jake, Ellie, go down and find them. So we're leaving Santana up with Tex all day. It is feed time, so I'm going to come down and let everyone else in. Have them come up front and feed them. And but in case you guys are wondering why you see Santana up front with Tex, it's because her bag looks like it's about to pop. Now, a lot of people are asking about Pearl. You're saying, wait a minute, what about Pearl and that trip she took to band camp? Band camp, guys. That's it's a joke. Yes, so band camp, we don't know if it was successful. Pearl is not showing. And even though if it did take, as they say, we should be seeing that showing here pretty soon. But she is a brand new mother, and sometimes brand new moms don't show. Can y'all hear a word that I'm saying? I can't even hear myself talk. So I've come down and set these babies beside the corner we have reserved for Lola and Petunia. I haven't brought the wind chimes over yet. I have these three that hang here, and I'm thinking that, well, the letter suggested that she asked that we hang the other one over in Petunia's palace. And I can certainly do that. I'm just afraid it will not get enough sunlight. This is what I like to watch, even though it scares me. It always scares me when they start running across these pastures because I'm always afraid one of them's going to trip and fall and hurt itself, even though that's probably just the dad in me. Hey, Danny. Come on, you big galoot. Come on, buddy. Okay. In case you're wondering, the ground was too hard here. I could not drive these T-posts into the ground because it was so hard. That is solid clay, and it is hard as concrete. And I tried so hard, and I even used the tractor trying to push these things in to get a bite, that they ended up bending. Yeah, it's pretty goofy. You want to know the funniest thing? Is that we had a special visitor come by. And I says, Jake, I says, no matter what, our special visitor does not come by this section of fence, because that's not what we're going to have represent and reflect who we are. Yeah, I can't get them in the ground. I don't know what else to do. I cannot get them in the ground. So my plan is to wait until we've had a couple of days of rainy weather. where the ground has softened up a bit, and I'll come try to drive them again. There. Things are not looking pretty around here. Let me tell you, whenever you call your animals up and they would prefer to eat that grass than they would delicious grains, you know you have lost complete control of your animals, because, sorry to say it, but we use food to control them. Much like the government uses food to control us. Seriously, they do. They use food to control us. Especially if they get you hooked on sugars, like Dr. Pepper's. Yeah, Dan knows. Dr. Pepper owns me. Dr. Pepper controls me. And I believe that was all part of a big Dr. Pepper government conspiracy to control Lester. This is the most ridiculous thing, to have all of these ducks hanging out here by the barn, waiting for food. Waiting for food. At least they're contained to their pasture. How do you keep a duck contained to a pond pasture? And the most barn duck of them all, Pastor Pablo. Pebbles, stop, you're gonna hurt her. Ringo is sitting there eating up every bite of whatever they drop. That would be a combination of mealworm. Leave her alone. Pebbles is following Peggy Pig around the entire pasture, picking on her. Ringo is picking up every bite of mealworm, flock pellets, and rabbit food, which is little alfalfa cubes. And whatever drops out of that plate, Ringo's eating it up. So I want to show y'all something, if I can reach. So these are hedge, and they produce these little seedlings like that. And when you jump around the trampoline, they bounce around and looks like burnt popcorn seeds. Or it looks like a lot of goat poop. And there were a lot of people in the video that Jake and I made. You see all the seeds there? They fall out of these trees and they just cover the ground around here. They also get inside my pool. We're not talking about that because I've not cleaned it for summer yet, all right? It still is in winter mode. But these little seeds get all over the ground and these little things will spring up. But there were a lot of people who were just grossed out and disgusted. They thought the video was funny. But man, they could not believe we did not take a broom and sweep off that trampoline first before jumping around in goat poop. But no, that's in fact not goat poop. That would be these little seeds from the hedge. Hi, Fireball. Now, we have cut all of our bamboo back. But I want to ask a question. How would y'all feel about us planting bamboo there at Longhorn Lester's? I want you to see, all of this is new bamboo. We planted this over here last summer. And it was actually towards the end of the summer. And so we cut it all back. But I want to show you all of the new sprouts that are sticking up and coming up all around it. And I'm wondering if I was to buy bamboo, because it's pretty cheap, and I put this all along that hillside, then could I possibly just let that be what grows into the hillside and spread around? Now you're going to say, no, Lester, it's going to take over everything. It's going to cover it all. What if it did cover it all? It was very easy to come by here with my hedge trimmers and cut the tops of these off. All right, so y'all just ignore the little sound, the squealing pitch. Jake is going to help me measure how. We got to go from the bottom though, Jake. from the bottom of that. I'll pull it down. Now what we need is 13 foot, but I know this is not going to be, I was afraid of that. 12. All right, that's only 12. It's only 12. All right, let's go measure the tractor and see what it measures out to be. Okay. Here's your measure. All right, careful getting out of there. All right, so what's happening is Dub and Sharon, the former owners, are having a hard time making so many trips back and forth to Alabama. You know, they're trying to move all of their things in a kind of a systematic process, and it's taking them a while, and they're having a hard time with so much traveling. I mean, that's tough, 13 hours one way. And so what's going to happen is they've decided to go ahead and hire a moving company, but they have large things to move. Dub has large things to move, and so they're going to actually have a moving truck, but an 18-wheeler, Jake, an 18-wheeler, a semi. So you're thinking, well, that's great. Let's look at it all done in one day, and they will. The data movers come. As long as Dub and Sharon have everything packed and marked, then the loaders will load it and they'll ship it for them. They'll move it. Dub and Sharon will just kind of follow along behind. But here's the problem. That semi truck is not going to fit down the driveway because the cross beam that we have across the top is at 12 foot. We need to be able to, and the semi truck sits 13 foot 9 inches. So what we're going to have to do is use the tractor to dismantle the top column. I hate to do that because those guys have worked so hard to make it look nice and pretty, but we're going to make sure the tractor goes up high enough to where we can unbolt the beam, raise it up enough to be able to back it up out of the way until, and then we'll set it down somewhere until the moving truck is in and out, and then we'll put it right back into place. So that's why Jake is measuring to see how high this thing will actually go, and it does go high enough to lift that beam up without us having to try to somehow get up there and move it by hand. It was put up with a machine, and it'll have to come down with a machine, and then go back up with a machine. Not that machine.